one player who has certainly taken a lot of people by surprise is Cucurella, of course, struggled for Chelsea, didn't he, after that big money move from Brighton. James Olley spoke to him at the end of the season about that criticism.
In terms of just the overall squad, obviously the team's had a lot of criticism this season, had to come through that. It's a young group. Do you think next season they're going to be better for it, that they're going to have learned some harsh lessons, some tough lessons, but overall it's going to make them better in the long run?
Yeah, I think the problem is like when you came here, is like for all the young people, it's difficult because you came like a big club and you have the responsibility, they pay a lot of money for you, and I think when the things doesn't go well, you have criticism. It's normal, we understand, but and things sometimes you have like low confidence, and this is very important. But I think when you have like the second season, I feel better. For example, I have one of these cases in the first season. I don't play at my level, but I think that now this one I play really good, and I think it's about this. We know you came for a big club. There is a lot of changes for young players, a lot of responsibility, but indeed, when you stay here and you know and you manage this, I think is better. I think after this season, the next one, I think is for sure better because we know what I need to do. We have a lot of the players, same players, and I think the project, I think, is built about this. I think we need to know. I think these small games, these last games, we played really good. We forgot like this criticism or everything. We are only focused on the pitch, what I need to do, and I think this is part of the game. I know it's difficult to manage this because sometimes you cannot control, but we need to know like the pressure that we have. We are in a big club and we need to win every game.
Has it been difficult to shut it out at times?
Yeah, the problem is maybe one only, like in esports, is I never seen in a lot of esports like this, maybe no criticism, but I think in football is like everything is like maybe permit. Like you can imagine you miss a goal or something, then you can do it, you can text or everything, whatever you want, and I think it's not good because we are persons as well. And I think, for example, if you work in another job, I never seen like people criticizing another job. I know it's different, but sometimes these things affect like the confidence for the players, and then you in the next game you don't feel good, you are a little bit like scared and this, but we need to know this. I think now we know this. We have like tough moments this season, we lose games, but now this is good to be more strong and to build from this. I think next season we are ready. We know like the level of like the level of the pressure that we have, and we need to stay focused on what we can control and we can manage and build about this.
Gab Marcotti's here, everyone. Yay! Hello, Gab. And we'll be here. Oh, no, it's gone. Oh, no, that's my God, he's gone. That was quick, goodness me. There he's back. Oh, what a fun game. We'll be here for Gab in a moment. You, of course, hit the headlines in England when you came out and said that Cucurella is not good enough for Chelsea. That was picked up by a number of newspapers, comments that you made on the show. Were you wrong?
Well, according to what we see right now with the national team, he proved me wrong. But at the time I was saying that, and the way he was playing, no, I was right. And it was hard for him. I don't want to criticize anybody. I would love to play in a fairy tale and say that everybody's perfect and we see the best football in the world. We were talking while Cucurella was explaining that Chelsea was really dysfunctional at the time, and it was hard for anybody with the price tag that they had to prove anything. The club is trying to rebuild something where it was already built, and it's why I was criticizing anybody. And when he was playing, he was running like like going everywhere, trying to sort out everything, but not doing great. And he wasn't good, he made mistakes. And you are a professional player, we are pundits, we are to say what we see, we are legit to talk about it. And I'm sorry, what I saw at the time wasn't good. And because he's very good with Spain, I can say, and I said it
been brilliant
since the beginning, he's brilliant, well done Cucurella. I hope that when he's going to go back to Chelsea, that would be a different player.
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Well, I mean, when we played football, Dan, we were criticised immensely. God. Of course we were. You can't play well all the time, and it's just part of the game because it's an emotional game. Fans are very emotive. The fact that he came with a big price tag has not helped him, of course.
Yes.
The fact that Chelsea, with their takeover of the new regime and changing managers and buying players en masse and letting players go en masse, it hasn't helped Cucurella at all, and it hasn't helped a lot of their new signings. They had a lot of injuries as well, which didn't help their team, but it is part of the game when you play for a big club like Chelsea. So being criticised is not an issue when you are not playing well. Now, it's the other way around. He's playing for Spain and he's been a revelation, and now we're all applauding him and saying how wonderful he is, and he has to keep going. And the good players get applauded more than average players. That's just the nature of the beast. So he will know it. Frank's criticism wasn't harsh. It was just true of what he's seen as a Chelsea fan. Has his performance been good enough in a Chelsea shirt? No. But you could have said that for 15 Chelsea players.
Yeah.
It's just that you were talking about this gentleman. His form at Brighton was great. Big price tag, which was not his fault. But now he's showing the form that we've seen in the past. And he just needs to take that back in to this Chelsea team with a new manager and hit the ground running. But that could be said for the new Chelsea manager, who they change on an annual basis, which is crazy, and the amount of players that they buy and sell, which doesn't help the team in the long run.
Your thoughts, Gab?
No, I broadly echo that. I mean, I think Cucurella said so himself, that he wasn't at his level in his first season. I think in this last season, in the last 3-4 months, you definitely saw an uptick in his performance. Does it make it worth what they are paying him and what they paid for him? My mind, probably not yet, but at least he's trending upwards. And in this tournament, he's been good. I wouldn't get carried away with, like all of a sudden he's the second coming, because I thought against France he made a couple errors as well. But overall, he's been very solid this tournament. And it's funny, it swings and roundabout, right? If Alejandro Balde had been fit, I'm not even sure Cucurella would have been at this tournament, let alone starting for Spain. But he's here, he's seizing that opportunity, and he's taking that positive momentum forward.
Who do you want to win tomorrow, Gab?
Who do I want to win? Yeah, I'm not falling for that one.
What? That's a simple question.
I want football to be the winner tomorrow, Dan.
That's not the answer. No. Come on, Gab.
Who do you want to win, Gab?
Who do you want to win?
It's fine. We won't be offended.
I genuinely don't have a preference. I just want a clean finish. I don't want controversy.
Yeah.
I don't want coked up England fans running around, breaking things down. I just want a pleasurable final with a clear winner.
Yeah.
Kind of like in wrestling. It's what they call a clean finish. They always have those at WrestleMania. And then you move on. And then what? Less than a month's time, the Premier League is back.
That's very
The important stuff's back in a month's time.
the final that I played, I always pray for the fact that if I lose against a better team, not because of the referee mistake or because one of my players.
Ronaldo was ill in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, and I put some poison, and paid village for the red card of Blanc. But no, it's really true. Getting an on goal, having a bad decision from the ref. That's something you want to avoid. And you say if you lose. The better team won. That's it. But it's what we wish for that last game.
Yeah, definitely.
What is your prediction then, Gab?
So I don't have strong feelings on this one. I did go with England for my prediction. And the thinking is, it's not that I think that they've played better football in the tournament, because obviously they haven't, other than that first half in the semifinal. I think they've basically been turgid throughout. But I just look at it in terms of matchups. I think it's really difficult to win 7 games in a row, which is what Spain would be doing if they won the final as well. I think we've seen England having so many match winners, probably more individual match winners, more people who can create out of nothing, whether it's Foden or Bellingham or Kane or Cole Palmer or Ollie Watkins, as we saw. And, sometimes in football, if you park the bus and defend in numbers and get everybody behind the ball the way Southgate has been doing, and somebody pops up at the other end, you can nick victories, especially against less experienced teams like Spain.
The thing is, I was thinking about the bench of England comparing to the bench of Spain. You don't really have depth in the Spanish team, players who have made a difference, where in England, Palmer, every time he came on, or some others, they were useful. Watkins, of course, and that can make also a difference at the end of the game.